Thanks so much for joining us for CBN News Today. I'm Ephraim Graham. The crisis in Iraq is dismantling 8 years of American sacrifice to stabilize that country. Al-Qaeda-inspired militants are now marching their way toward Baghdad and taking key cities along the way. It's a battle that has Iraq's military on the run and Iraq's Christians scrambling to find safety yet again. Mosul and Tikrit have already fallen to the Al-Qaeda offshoot known as ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. And there's little sign of resistance as the militants march their way toward Baghdad.
This group of people now, there's tens of thousands of these guys, and they now have a territory. They control territory, they control border crossing points, they control oil resources, mineral resources, trade, income. They have a base in the middle of the Middle East.
This battle comes after America lost more than 4,000 soldiers fighting in Iraq and spent $2 trillion to help stabilize the country. But instead of fighting, Iraq's military is on the run, leaving their American-made weapons and Humvees in the hands of these militants.
They were one time aligned with Al-Qaeda, but even Al-Qaeda says they're too extreme because they kill civilians.
CBN international correspondent Gary Lane.
I think it shows you that you can provide the most advanced weaponry, you can provide the training, but what do you do about someone's will if they don't have the will to fight? Many of these Iraqi fighters laid down their weapons, they abandoned their uniforms, you could see them lying in the streets. They don't have the will to give their lives for al-Maliki and his government.
The Prime Minister has asked citizens to take up arms as Iraqi forces are fleeing, but citizens are on the run as well. 500,000 people are believed to have left Mosul, including Christians. Nina Shea, Director of Religious Freedom at the Hudson Institute, calls this the end game for the cleansing of Iraq's Christians.
All of the Christians of Iraq have had to flee, or virtually all of them have had to flee north to Mosul and beyond over the last 10 years because of very severe persecution. And so now we're seeing Mosul itself being cleansed of its Christians. There's virtually no Christians left in Mosul, and all the churches are closed.
Nina Shea is calling on the White House to take action on behalf of these Christians and innocent Iraqi people.
The administration right now needs to get humanitarian aid to these people. I'm hearing that from the Nineveh plain, where a lot of them have fled, there's only food and water for about 2 days. Beyond that, they need to appoint a special envoy for Middle East minorities.
The Iraqi government has asked the U.S. to carry out airstrikes, but right now there is no sign the U.S. wants to get involved. Militants fired a rocket from the Gaza Strip into Israel Wednesday. It is the first time that's happened since the formation of a new Palestinian Unity government that includes Hamas. The new government, headed by Mahmoud Abbas, technically controls Gaza, but in reality, Hamas is in charge. The terrorist group has sent thousands of rockets from Gaza into Israel over the years. Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas condemned the attack. An Israeli spokesperson said that condemnation is empty rhetoric and called on Abbas to disarm militants in Gaza. Here at home, Washington is still stunned after the surprising defeat of House Majority Leader Eric Cantor in the Republican primary. Lawmakers are now scrambling to decide who will take his place when he steps down at the end of July. An election to fill the post will happen 1 week from today. Many believe Cantor's support for immigration reform played a role in his defeat. CBN News chief political correspondent David Brody agrees.
The problem here was that Eric Cantor couldn't get away from talking about the amnesty issue, and that really hurt him. As opposed to Lindsey Graham down in South Carolina, another Republican who actually won, a senator down there who won, who also is pro-immigration reform. The difference is that Lindsey Graham was able to change the topic and talk about how the president is out of touch on Benghazi and a lot of other things. So Graham was able to do that. Cantor was not.
President Obama rejected the idea that Cantor's loss means immigration reform is dead. But David tells us Cantor's defeat makes it unlikely any Republican leadership will be willing to take up the issue. America is increasingly divided along political lines, according to a Pew Research study. Pew Research Center questioned more than 10,000 adults on their ideology. The survey found that 1 in 5 Americans have across-the-board conservative or liberal views. That is up from 2004, when it was only 1 in 10. They also found ideological purity is more widespread in people who are politically engaged than in the general public, and that people are likely to separate themselves in their personal lives from those on the opposite side. The nation's top Pentagon official told Congress he stands by the deal that led to the release of Sergeant Bo Bergdahl and said the exchange for 5 Taliban detainees was legal. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel defended the administration's decision to ignore a law requiring 30 days congressional notice for any Guantanamo Bay prisoner release. He said it wasn't a perfect deal, but time was not on their side.
But under these exceptional circumstances, a fleeting opportunity to protect the life of an American service member held captive and in danger for almost 5 years, the National Security Team and the President of the United States agreed that we needed to act swiftly.
Members of Bergdahl's unit say they accuse him of deserting his post. Recently uncovered Facebook postings reveal he criticized military and government leaders shortly before he disappeared. Catholic groups in Michigan and Tennessee will not be granted an injunction exempting them from the contraception mandate in Obamacare. That is the ruling by a federal appeals court. The court wrote that all plaintiffs are already eligible for an exemption or an accommodation. The accommodation still allows employees to receive contraceptive coverage that's paid for and administered by an insurance insurer or third-party administrator. The Catholic groups say, regardless, the mandate could make them complicit in a great moral wrong. The American Center for Law and Justice is asking the Supreme Court to take the case involving a pro-life pregnancy center. The ACLJ represents 2 nonprofit groups suing New York City over a law that targets pro-life centers' First Amendment rights. The law says any advertisement or any conversation with a woman in person must include 3 lengthy disclaimers and in English and Spanish, something abortion clinics aren't required to do. The groups must follow the strict disclaimer requirements or pay thousands of dollars in penalties. Well, the World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world, and it takes off in Brazil today. The host country hoped it would bring in a big economic boost, but locals have been sharply divided, with many saying it was a big mistake instead. Our Heather Sells has the latest.
In the months leading up to the World Cup, disenchanted Brazilians have organized regular protests across the country. Their main complaint, Brazil has wasted $11 billion preparing for the Cup and neglected needs at home.
Answer these questions. Who will profit more, FIFA businessmen or Brazilian people?
Brazil actually bid for the Cup back in 2006. That's a time when it was much more confident economically.
At the time, Brazil's economy was growing well. Its government wanted to showcase the country's achievements and to really show how fast it was coming up in the world.
In recent years, though, the economy has sputtered, and Brazil's infrastructure and education system have lagged. Now the president is in damage control mode, promoting the Cup and everything Brazil has poured into it. The airports, the metro, and the stadiums will not go back in tourist luggage. It will remain here for our benefit. The Cup is just for 1 month, but its benefits are for the whole life. And she's getting support from some who believe Brazil has the resources to fund the Cup and keep investing in its economy. Another payoff, the Cup could enhance Brazil's international reputation.
Most countries who host these large international sporting events don't really make money on them. It's really more of an opportunity to showcase their political achievements.
Trincunes says long-term Brazil is on track to succeed as a rising global power. And in the short term, he notes that the protests and complaints may fade as the excitement of soccer builds, especially if Brazil does well in the Cup. Heather Sells, CBN News.
While many Brazilians are protesting, others are seeing opportunities for the gospel. Brazilian churches are mobilizing to reach soccer fans, including an estimated 3 million international visitors. Christians are handing out literature with a message of hope. Some are also flashing a red card, similar to the cards being used by soccer referees, but with a message warning against human trafficking.
Then there are the typical, drama, dance, cultural exchange teams that are on the streets and ministering to the people. We have many different opportunities to also reach out to people in different languages. For example, you can now on your smartphone actually download 700 languages of the spoken New Testament.
The opportunity for sharing the gospel with World Cup visitors will continue through the championship game, which is scheduled for the 13th of July. Well, up next, surfer Bethany Hamilton makes a big splash with a brand new book. Hear her advice for a healthy body and soul when we come back.
Pat Boone here with a word about bank safety. Do you think your money is safe in the bank? Don't bank on it. A generation ago, bank accounts felt secure and they paid interest. This encouraged the virtue of thrift and saving. But today, bank accounts pay virtually nothing, and they've shifted from low risk to high risk. For example, did you know your money deposited in most U.S. banks could be subject to limited withdrawal and even confiscation? Oh, yes. And that's just the first of 19 risks explained in a new white paper entitled Don't Bank on It. You still think your bank deposits are safe? You better get this vital new Don't Bank on It white paper now. Call the number on the screen or visit SwissAmerica.com, the gold standard. Learn how simple it is to become your own banker today.
Millions of Americans with an ostomy live their lives to the fullest every day. And over the last 10 years, thousands have chosen Liberator Medical as their caring and reliable resource for ostomy supplies. Liberator Medical is a nationally accredited Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance provider, so we can handle all your Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance paperwork and billing. And Liberator Medical has been chosen as a preferred supplier by all the leading ostomy manufacturers, including Coloplast, Hollister, Convatec, and Generics. We supply all these leading ostomy brands so you can always get the ostomy supplies and accessories you want and trust. And all of our ostomy care specialists are product certified by the manufacturers. Shipping is free and discreetly delivered right to your door. Unhappy with your present ostomy supplier? Call Liberator Medical and ask about our free ostomy sampling program. We also offer catheters and urological supplies.
Call 1-800-513-3076. That's 1-800-513-3076.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, kids, do you love games? And do you love discovering things? Well, do ya?
Then you're gonna love this. It's the new free Superbook Kids Bible app. You can play games, watch videos, find answers to your questions, and a whole lot more. The new Superbook Kids Bible app. Free downloads available on iTunes and Google Play now.
A group of Southern Baptists say recent stories about heaven may not be biblically accurate. The SBC's annual convention the delegation from Baltimore introduced a resolution calling on the convention's Lifeway bookstore to stop selling Heaven is for Real. The best-selling book and film depicts a 4-year-old's account of heaven and meeting Jesus. SB leaders say people can be led astray by popular books and movies that contain personal testimonies that cannot be corroborated with the Bible and often conflict with what the Bible teaches. Well, from magazines to the big screen, young girls are bombarded with images about the perfect body. But as surfer Bethany Hamilton reminds us, that's not what true beauty is all about. CBN's Angela Zatopek sits down with Bethany 10 years after her terrible shark attack.
Pro surfer Bethany Hamilton has inspired millions with her story of faith and determination after losing her arm in a 2003 shark attack. Now she hopes to reach a new audience in her book called Body and Soul, A Girl's Guide to a Fit, Fun, and Fabulous Life.
My heart behind Body and Soul was really to encourage teenage girls, and now that I think about it, girls my age and women of all, to just make healthier choices in their daily life.
Bethany Hamilton is on a mission, traveling the country, including here in New York City. Her goal is to help inspire young girls to be healthy on the inside as well as the outside.
You kind of look at the health of our country and there's like huge obesity rates and disease rates, and girls that are having eating disorders, they think they have to look like this girl or that girl, and I wanted to be able to shed some light in that area.
As a pro athlete, Hamilton's advice for developing a healthy lifestyle begins with an organic diet. In her book, She talks about how to portion your food like a pro and the importance of natural foods, including the smoothies she blends up every morning.
I love being able to make my own green shake in the morning. I'll start with putting spinach in it and like maybe some mango or banana. I'll do almond milk. Almond milk's my go-to. I don't do much dairy.
In addition to diet, Hamilton says stay active. Her book includes workouts developed especially for young girls. Bethany and I hit the gym as she showed me some of the exercises she explains in her book, ranging from lunges to what she calls the duck walk. Most of her exercises can be done anywhere, and they're also fun to do with friends.
So this one just gets like a really deep stretch. So after doing lunges, it's really essential to stretch your hamstring and make sure you're not getting super tight.
Bethany also writes about other fun ways to work up a sweat, stressing the importance for your mental well-being.
Not every girl that's gonna pick up this book is gonna be like, hey, I wanna be the best surfer in the world. But to find their different passions in their daily life and find the things that work for them. I don't think we're called to sit and be on like our iPhones or computer all day long. I think we're supposed to get out and about and stay active.
Getting away from those electronics will help you in another area that Hamilton believes is key to your growth, nourishing your spirit and the relationships God brings into your life. Throughout the book, she lists Bible verses for young girls to remember as they develop and grow.
I think it's really important for girls to find that time throughout their day to like just dig into God's word and just know his truth.
Hamilton recently married her best friend, Adam Dirks. They travel together for business, whether for surfing or speaking engagements. Bethany regularly puts that spiritual focus on display in her own daily life. She recently spoke at the National Prayer Breakfast in Washington, D.C.
It's cool to be able to share Christ with leaders from all over the world of many different backgrounds.
As Bethany continues to spread her message of faith, Body and Soul focuses on becoming your best you through physical and spiritual balance. Angela Zatopek, CBN News, New York.
Coming up, it is being called the cancer killer, and it is saving lives with virtually no side effects.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
A new study suggests women who eat more red meat may have a slightly higher risk of breast cancer. Researchers at Harvard University studied data from nearly 90,000 women ages 25 to 45 who completed surveys back in 1991. Their consumption of red meat varied from never to 6 or more servings a day. A published study in 2006 found a preliminary link between eating red meat and breast cancer after 12 years. Now, updated research from those women confirms those findings. Well, imagine a free cancer treatment with virtually no side effects. Its supporters say sugar is cancer food. So if you cut out the carbs, you can kill off the cancer. And they have success stories to back up that claim. Our Lori Johnson has this story.
Dr. Fred Hatfield is an impressive guy. He's a powerlifting champion, author, millionaire businessman with a beautiful wife. But he'll tell you his greatest accomplishment is killing his cancer, just in the nick of time.
The doctors gave me 3 months to live because of widespread metastatic cancer in my skeletal structure. 3 months. 3 different doctors told me that same thing.
It's a horrible, horrible feeling to have someone tell you that the person that you love only has 3 months to live and you're not going to be with him anymore.
While Fred was preparing to die, he heard about an anti-cancer diet, also known as metabolic therapy. With nothing to lose, he gave it a try and was shocked when it actually worked.
And the cancer was gone completely. To this day, there's no trace of it, and it's been over a year.
Although it wasn't easy, Fred stopped eating carbohydrates because carbohydrates turn into glucose inside your body. Cancer cells love glucose and need it so badly that if you stop giving it to them, they die.
And it just absolutely amazes me that medical science is just now finding this out.
Fred's recovery was not a surprise to Dr. Dominic D'Agostino. His team of scientists at the University of South Florida study metabolic therapy. When they removed carbohydrates from the diets of lab mice, the mice survived highly aggressive metastatic cancer, even better than when they were treated with chemotherapy.
We have dramatically increased survival with metabolic therapy. So we think it's important to get this information out.
And it's not just lab mice. He's also seen similar success in people, lots of them.
I've been in correspondence with a number of people, probably at least a dozen people, and over the last 1.5 to 2 years, and all of them are still alive, so despite the odds. And so this is very encouraging.
All cells, including cancer cells, are fueled by glucose. But if you deprive them of glucose, they switch to the alternate fuel ketone bodies, all except cancer cells. A defect prevents them from making the switch to using ketone bodies as fuel, and therefore cancer cells can only survive on glucose. All other cells can use either glucose or ketone bodies.
Your normal cells have the metabolic flexibility to adapt from using glucose to using ketone bodies. But cancer cells lack this metabolic flexibility, so we can exploit that.
People like Fred, who deprive their cells of glucose and fuel them with ketone bodies instead, eat what's known as a ketogenic diet. It consists of almost 0 carbohydrates, but lots of natural protein and fat.
You can go online and there's just cookbooks and, it's clean eating, just very clean eating. None of the sugars, the salts, the trash food.
Natural proteins are ones in their original form, but processed meats like cold cuts and hot dogs are off limits because often carbohydrates have been added to them. Natural fats are in their original form, like olive oil, avocados, nuts, and also coconut oil. But stay away from trans fats such as shortening or margarine, which are man-made.
Some people are afraid to try the ketogenic diet because they think all this fat is bad for their heart. But more doctors are now saying natural fat is actually good for you, even natural saturated fat like coconut oil and butter.
Doctors like cardiologist Stephen Sinatra.
Is cholesterol the major cause of heart disease? Absolutely not.
In his book, The Great Cholesterol Myth, he says the real cause of heart disease is inflammation, which comes from eating too many carbohydrates.
We need to coach our patients and empower them about the dangers of sugar. Unfortunately, they're not hearing that. They're hearing the converse, the dangers of fat. Fat is healthy for you, as long as you avoid trans fats.
So by cutting back on carbohydrates and eating natural fats and proteins, you could improve your heart health and even wipe out cancer. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
And stay with us. We're coming right back.
Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? Hi, I'm George Foreman. People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can provide patent referrals and submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee your company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-461-9290. That's 1-800-461-9290.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
And finally this hour, graduating seniors at a Virginia high school defied a demand by the American Civil Liberties Union that they remove a Christian song from their graduation ceremony. Students in Ewing, Virginia lined up after receiving their diplomas and began singing "God Be With You Till We Meet Again." The song has been sung during graduation exercises at Thomas Walker High since 1940. The ACLU sent a letter to school officials last month saying the students should not be allowed to sing the song because of its religious content. However, it could do nothing about the student-led effort. We have a link on our website, cbnnews.com, with more on the story, including a link to a local television station, WJHL, which covered the dispute and the graduation. Well, that is going to do it now for CBN News Today. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And be sure to tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do it on Facebook or at CBN News on Twitter. Hope you join us again right here next time. Make it a thankful Thursday, everybody.
Inside every child is a hero, a leader, a friend to others, someone who helps out, who does the right thing, who dreams of what they can be, but they still need our help.
What should I do? What should I say? How should I feel?
That's where Superbook comes in. It provides moral and spiritual truths through situations children can relate to, teaching God's Word to the children you love. Join the Superbook DVD Club and receive Superbook's newest episodes as they're available, plus 2 copies to share with others, all for your gift of only $25. Get Superbook today and watch the miracles happen.
Every day, people are connecting on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Now you can be part of the conversation and connect on topics you care about through 700 Club Interactive. Log on to Facebook, Twitter, or go to YouTube and share your opinions, your prayer requests, and your videos while making friends in our community.
Well, welcome to the show.
Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. 700 Club Interactive. Be a part of the show.